Hello and welcome to a new video, my 1 year ownership update of my 2021 Tesla Model 3 LFP battery, the standard range, that I have for pretty much exactly 1 year now. It's been yesterday, a year ago, that I bought this exact car, and I wanted to walk you through what I've done with it, what it's been through, what my statistics are, and everything. So stay tuned for a quick recap of the last year that I've done with this car. So I've owned this car for about a year now, pretty much to the day yesterday. And I've driven about 48,950 kilometers. Years makes no difference, 50,000 kilometers, which is about 30,000 miles. So pretty above average in 1 year for what us Germans normally drive, which is about 15,000 kilometers, and I've done almost 50. Also kind of limited by not going on vacation for the last maybe 2 months or so, which I've done pretty much every month before. So I could have done even a bit more. Coming up soon, I've got my end of warranty check, but that's maybe something for another video. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm just gonna let everything be checked. I've got some small, tiny little issues that I want to have fixed before the warranty runs out. But let's have a look at those 48,950 kilometers. I've been to a lot of countries in Europe. You've seen my trip to, I think I began with the Netherlands that we drove to. After that, we've been through Austria and Slovenia and Croatia and Hungary and Slovakia and back to Austria. We've done that trip. We've also been to Poland in October, where we've driven pretty much all through the country. Also going back over Berlin and back down. And what else did I do? Oh my god, it was so much. We've been to Monaco with the car. We've been to Denmark and driven all the way to the northernmost point of Denmark, back down to Copenhagen, and then back down home to southern Germany. We've also been to so many other places that I will probably show you right here, right now. Hopefully, if I can get that done, because it was quite a lot. On all of those trips, we used about 9,400 kilowatt hours of energy, of electricity, 9.4 megawatt hours, which is quite a lot, but we do have an average consumption of 17.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is not too bad if you consider how much highway driving there is included, and that I'm going quite fast when I'm on the German Autobahn. And also there's a lot of hot summers and stuff. Also in those 17.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, there is no parking consumption included, because the car shows me about 8-ish megawatt hours of used energy, which is only the energy that's used while you are in drive or in reverse, while the Tesla app and my own statistics show me about 9.4 megawatt hours, which are including the park consumption. So I used about 1,000 kilowatt hours. Nearest makes no difference. Like when I was parked, when I was charging, when I was preheating or pre-cooling the car, when I was I don't know, parked and watching YouTube or stuff. All of that is included in those 1,000 kilowatt hours that are on top of my driving consumption, which is pretty interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that it was so much, but I guess Sentry mode while I was on vacation and pre-cooling and preheating and stuff uses quite some energy. So yeah, what else did I do with my car? After I got it, pretty much in the beginning, I think in like late July or early August, I kind of wrapped parts of my car, or I let them wrap. I changed my badges from the silver ones to black ones. I added this nice black little stripe down there that you can see the front lip. And also, if you've seen the new Model 3 Performance, when it's white, the front looks exactly like this. You got the nice black lip down below, you got the nice white up there, and this awesome Stormtrooper-like contrast. I absolutely love it. It's so perfect. Yeah, what was my experience with the car? I got into it pretty much every day and I was just happy about it. I've driven a lot of cars in the last year and I'm pretty lucky to be able to do so and to bring you all of the content that I've done in the last year. And there's some bugs here, so don't mind me doing this all the time. Where was I headed with this? Yeah. I went into my car pretty much every day and I was never even once sad that I had to go into this car and not into another one, into my previous e-Golf or something like that. I was just happy every single day with this car. Sure, it has some quirks and some things that might be done better, like the suspension, which is not that great in this car. We know from the 2024 model year, that the suspension got so much better than it was in my 2021 model. Tesla really stepped up their game, like suspension wise. But software wise, it's a car that's designed in 2019, which was of course revised over the years, tiny bits. But like the main components and the main system are like from 2019. With I've got the old Intel processor in my MCU, the MCU2, not the AMD CPU, which makes the whole car so much faster infotainment wise. But still, the Intel CPU still gives me all the traffic infos, perfect navigation, route planning, which is good but not perfect. Always something to improve there. That's why I often do my charge planning myself, because it's just yeah, there is room for improvement there, but it's also quite difficult, at least in Germany, to plan a route, because sometimes you go fast on a highway and sometimes you don't. So you really have to like consider the driving style and the traffic conditions and everything. It's hard to plan for the car. So I give it that. But all in all, it rides pretty smoothly and pretty comfortably. Always, yeah, you can always improve that, but the acceleration is fun and it's fun to drive. Also, the range is really not a problem at all, because with the charging that it can do, which is peak at 170 kilowatts, which it holds up to about, I think, 30-ish%, and then it slowly walks its way down to around 100 kilowatts at 60-ish%. So it holds that speeds quite well, quite long. So you really do charge from 15 to 80% in 20 minutes with a car from 2021. If you have a look at the newer models, that's not that much better, at least in the Tesla world. We do have a lot of cars that are not Tesla, which are pretty much way better and way faster charging. But we also get a lot of vehicles in that price range that aren't as good. So I'm really impressed and happy with the charging performance that this car delivers, because yeah, you don't need to wait for forever for it to charge. You just go as fast as you want, as long as you want, pretty much. And then you like take a break for 15-20 minutes and then you just go on. And on your break you have a little coffee, I don't know, or go to the restrooms or something. So it's really not a problem at all. You just go on your way. I've been to southern Germany. I am in southern Germany. I've been to southern France. I've been to all the way in Hungary, in Poland, in Denmark, and it was never even once a problem to charge a car. Maybe there was like a little infrastructure thing on our way back from Poland, where we got a lot of heavy traffic, where we just stood in the heat for like 2 hours, and we were already planning on a tight margin and a tight buffer. That was kind of interesting. But all in all, um, there was never a problem where I couldn't charge at all. I might not be able to charge as fast as I wanted to, but there was always some amount of energy or some charging stations nearby. I do have a trip planned for the future, which I would have done in August, but now that won't work because of some uh, other stuff that's going on. That would have been really interesting charging infrastructure wise, but that's something for a future video. We want to stick to the car. What else have we got? I have like used my winter tires, which are all-season tires that I now use as winter tires because I got those nice new summer tires, or pretty much new summer tires, from a friend that doesn't use them as much as I do. So he's got all seasons, and gave me his summer tires because otherwise they're just lying around. And yeah, they're holding up perfectly. They are just a bit louder than my all-season tires, which is wild. But I also had a look for the quietest tires that I could find. But other than that, they are holding up pretty well. And even more so for my high number of driven kilometers. I have to say I didn't have any major mechanical faults in my car. Everything worked perfectly. Just some minor things that I'm gonna be going into in just a sec. But the whole package, the whole thing, and the reliability is just there. There's nothing that would have like been broken or that wouldn't have worked at all anymore. It always worked as it should have. Sometimes it had like bugs. The FSD computer didn't fall asleep, and so my car used about 4 to 8% of battery each night because it was just always awake. But and also I had to like reinstall the software for it to reset. I also recently had some kind of issue where the car wouldn't fall asleep and the 12-volt system would have been awake all the time. But I'm pretty sure that was some kind of configuration issue with some of my third-party services that can access my car's data for logging, for all of that, for access, for charging management stuff, and so on. So I'm pretty sure that's not a car problem, but a me problem. So I wouldn't count that towards a mistake from the car. Yeah, but mechanically, everything was perfect. Also, you might know the car originally was a damaged vehicle. It had a rear end collision. Someone else drove in their Kia Picanto into this car, and they had to remodel the whole rear bumper, or replace it, the whole rear bumper, the rear side panel that's going all the way below the doors. I can show you on this side. It was on the other side, but basically this whole panel that's going all the way up there, that was replaced on the other side, as well as the trunk lid. So that's that. No problem at all with that. It was a big invoice for the repairs, but I didn't have to pay for it. It was at the previous owner or their insurance. I'm not sure. Probably their insurance, or pretty much basically the insurance of the other driver's other car's driver, because they drove into my car basically. But yeah, that was before my time, and I hadn't had any issues with like results from bad repairs or anything. That was done perfectly, and you can't even see it. So if I wouldn't have known, wouldn't have seen it, and would never have noticed it. So yeah, that's about the mechanical part that I had to add. So let's jump back into the other part. So let's have a look at what problems I've had. I've had my steering wheel changed because there were some air bubbles below the surface in like the fake leather that's on top. That was kind of weird, so I had that changed in warranty. I've had my seat changed because it like squeaked around and like made some weird sounds. That was kind of fixed, and now when I'm moving the seat up and down and like moving around in the seat, it's kind of squeaky again. So that's on the list for the service to fix quite soon. I've also gonna let them check the whole suspension compartment, because we know all of the arms are kind of getting weird sometimes, and with older Teslas you really have to look after them. Also, the rear suspension will be checked and probably mended, because there might be some issues. I've towed a lot with the car because it can do, and it does so perfectly. So just some quirks to check and to maybe fix. But all in all, it was the perfect experience. It was perfect, like price to what you get car-wise ratio. Um, it's an awesome cruiser. You got so much space. You can sleep in the car without any problems. I've done videos about that. You can like transport everything and everyone without any problem. You can tow a trailer with up to 750 kilograms of load on it without any problem at all. There are some videos coming about that pretty soon. I've got so many videos already on my hard drive, which aren't done yet because I have to edit them and put them out, but there's just not enough time in my day to do all of that. So I'm gonna give you one video each week, and there's so much coming up. I hope you really are excited about that, because I really am, and it's so much fun to do that. Yeah, what else do we have? During this year, we got so many updates with so many new features, like the custom lock sound. If you walk away from the car, it just plays the sound you put in and you want it to play. That's pretty cool. We got the Matrix LED headlights, which I did a video about, and also now the dynamic cornering lights, which are only active if your lights are automatically on low beams and not on high beams. The auto high beams have to be on, but they have to not be enabled automatically. It's kind of weird, but it works if you know how it has to work. So yeah, that's that. What else did we get on feature-wise? Pretty much a lot, I would say, because there's so many updates and so much that Tesla just gives you for free during this year. Also, I added the rear heated seats and the heated steering wheel with a software update because I wanted to have it and my car had it built in. The previous owner didn't want it, I guess, so they didn't buy it, and I was just able to, in the Tesla app, say, yes, give me that, and Tesla took some money from me, said thank you very much, and gave me the heated steering wheel and heated rear seats, which is awesome. For now, this is just the perfect ratio of computer on wheels, software updates, build quality, because it's a Chinese made car. It's way better than the US built cars. After driving the Model S Plaid recently, I can really tell you there is such a big difference between US built and China built. Also, I drove China built Model 3s and US built Model 3s, and you can just feel the difference so much. That's really crazy. Yeah, it's the perfect ratio for me between build quality, price, software, range, charging speed, all in all, the whole package, everything you get with this car. It's just the perfect amount of everything for me. Sure, there are some small little things that I'm gonna go into detail maybe later in this video, but the whole package is just the closest package to perfect, considering also the price and the amount of budget I did have at the time, or I still have right now. It's just the perfect car. You can't get anything that's really much better. So yeah, I just wanted to add that feeling, the coming back home feeling after jumping back into the car. That's just there. That would be missing for me in some other cars. But that's a decision everyone has to make for themselves. Yeah, we also got kind of a location change here, so yeah. let's quickly switch over to the interior, which is, you have to say, now pretty old school with compared to the new Model 3, but still such a modern and clean car. Of course, there are people that like it, there are people that don't like it because you got no buttons at all except for those two here, but you really get used to it if you just want to. Of course, it's something that some people just might not want, but there's also like aftermarket parts like this sexy knob here that I got for controlling media or all of that other stuff, which also gets updates all the time, which is pretty nice. Um, you got your nice, very smooth infotainment screen here, which is awesome. You got your, yeah, just clean and well made interior, and that's just pretty nice. I also added some ambient lights in here, which you can't see that well now because it's pretty bright outside. But yeah, those corners are not perfect yet. I gotta uh, improve that in the future quite soon, but I'm gonna do that after my end of warranty check. Um, yeah, it's just, you can see here again the consumption of 17.7 and 48,955 kilometers. Just pretty nice. Um, and yeah, I don't know what else I could add in here. You got your nice stalks for blinkers and gear shift, and not the buttons on the steering wheel, even though I prefer the new steering wheel from shape and looks, because this is kind of bulky and yeah, not that pretty anymore compared to the new steering wheel, but that's really not a big complaint here. Um, Also, I just got another update, so you can see there's always updates coming. I think I got like 2 or 3 updates in the last month, so that's pretty nice. Um, yeah, that's it from the interior. What I could also add is my range with after like almost 80,000 kilometers on the car, which I also didn't mention. The car is at 76,776 kilometers of total distance driven, because I bought it with about 28,000 kilometers. Yeah, after about 80,000 kilometers, I still got like 394 kilometers indicated, and realistically, I think I've driven 260-ish kilometers with like 86% just recently. So about 300 kilometers, if you're driving relaxed and not German Autobahn style, are, yeah, achievable, I would say. Otherwise, if I'm going like I'm driving, I'm doing about 200-ish kilometers on the Autobahn with one battery, like with 10 to 80% about. So yeah, but I just prefer going faster. I'm just traveling like drive fast, charge fast. That's just how I roll, because I prefer to do it like that. Yeah, that's just my preferred way of traveling. But you can do so much more if you just want to do, and if you're just going relaxed, like 300 kilometers with the standard range battery. And keep in mind, this is the smaller standard range battery, because in 2022 the battery got an upgrade from 55 to 60 kilowatt hours. I still got the old small battery. So the newer cars even have 5 kilowatt hours more usable than I do. So you also just might be able to travel further, like maybe, yeah, about 10% further, so 330 kilometers realistically instead of 300-ish, which is not a huge change, but it's, yeah, you can like feel this change if you travel a lot, if you go far distances. So yeah, all in all, the experience with this car was so awesome. I'm happy to read your thoughts about that. Maybe also your own experience with your own Tesla, or with any other electric vehicle that you own, that you had good or bad experiences with. What were your problems? What were you happy with? I don't know. Put that all down in the comments. I always love to read it, and I try to answer everything because I love to interact with you guys. It's just awesome. Um, so yeah, put that down in the comments. I'm gonna head out towards a Cybertruck event today. You might have seen that some days ago on my Instagram or Twitter, maybe. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy that. And until then, I would say thank you very much for watching and see you guys in the next one. Bye.